So this is a video on the upcoming essay you have to write for Lord of the Flies. By now you've finished chapter 6, we're halfway through the story and it's time to write an essay to show me what you've learned from reading this book. So a couple of essay questions you may choose. Lord of the Flies is said to be a parody of the Coral Island. Why is this? How does William Golding use foreshadowing in the first 6 chapters to reveal what will happen later in the novel? Why is William Golding said to be an expert at developing symbols in the novels? How does William Golding reveal his own experience from World War II in the story? Or you can create your own. You can actually come up with your own essay question. If you choose to do this, just let me know first so we can work on that together. Another couple of questions you may choose from. How does Jack use the beast to control the other boys? What are important symbols in Lord of the Flies? Or identify 3 important symbols in Lord of the Flies. What, if anything, might the dead parachutist symbolise? And the last one, compare Ralph and Simon. Both seem to be good characters. Is there a difference in their goodness? Warning, any signs of plagiarism means an immediate F. So I'd advise you not to all pick the same question. Try to make sure you're different to your friends. If you're doing the same question, you have the same evidence and the same sort of paragraph topics, you're likely to plagiarize. It's likely going to be flagged as plagiarism. So just be careful. Try to be as different as you can. So you need to make an essay plan. So first of all, why do we plan? Well, we need to make sure everything connects. Obviously everything needs to come back to our thesis statement. By doing a plan, we can ensure that this is happening. We also want to write in a logical order. So you might decide, okay, my third body paragraph and second body paragraph should actually be switched around to make it so it makes more sense. We write a plan to write efficiently. When you know what you want to say, you can do it in the shortest amount of words possible. That is to write efficiently. Writing a ton of words can sometimes be confusing and boring. So by writing a plan, we know exactly what we want to say and how we're going to say it efficiently. We write plans so that we can make changes without having to delete loads of work. Obviously, if you decide you don't like something, you're only deleting notes as opposed to deleting a whole paragraph. And you write a plan to ensure that you've actually answered the question effectively. So this is what your plan looks like. Obviously, at the top is a thesis statement. Everything needs to link back to this. Then you've got 3 body paragraphs. Now, at least 2 pieces of analysed evidence. You may do 3. If you do 3, just add an extra box. So remember, I've made the writing workshop. Please refer to this when you're writing your essays. There's videos on everything here, from color coding your body paragraphs, paragraph structure, introducing and embedding evidence, analysing evidence, writing a thesis statement, hooking, bridging, and writing a conclusion. So make sure you're watching the videos. There's no excuse for poor essay writing because all of the resources are there. So the first thing you're going to write is your thesis statement. You pick a question and you make in a central claim from that question. Be sure to include the what as well as the why and the how. Everything in your essay needs to support this. Your paragraphs need to support it. Your topic sentences and closing sentences need to support it. All of your evidence and analysis needs to support this. If it doesn't support it, it doesn't go in the essay, basically. So there's a video in the writing workshop on writing a thesis statement and unpacking an essay question. And I've done an example here of Mice and Men. So I've written, in his prolific novel of Mice and Men, Steinbeck develops the theme of the weak versus the strong through marginalised characters. I've got the what and the how there. Obviously everything in my essay now needs to support that. So I've done some example plans for you as well. So this is my first body paragraph. I've got my topic sentence. One of the main characters, Lenny, a character marginalised for being mentally weak, develops the theme of the weak versus the strong by also, well, that's a mistake there, by also having great physical strength. Sorry for the mistake. Now, obviously, this is an essay plan. It doesn't need to be full sentences, but obviously, if you want to do full sentences so you can show me what you're thinking, that's fine. If you want to just take notes, that's also okay. I've done a bit of both here. So your topic sentences need to, again, what and the how or what and the why, but link back to your thesis statement. And then you're going to pick 2 pieces of evidence which supports this claim. So I've picked, obviously, to show that he's strong. He has these big bear paws. He dips his head underwater like a horse. stabs his big paws, walks like a bear. That shows he's strong. I've also shown he's weak by him being one of the ones that were left behind and being called a dum-dum. So these two pieces of evidence, I feel, back up my claim. Once I've got my pieces of evidence, I can analyse them. So obviously level 1, 2 and 3. Now here, level 1, I've acknowledged that it's animal imagery, connotations with bears, strong wild animals, and it highlights Lenny's strength but also impulsiveness and weaker mental state. By using the word left behind, gives the reader an impression that they're not wanted, reveals the characters are marginalised in the ranch, and could represent the weak in society, the Great Depression era, not enough resources for everyone, so the mentally ill would not be taken care of and literally be left behind by the government. So I've got level 1, 2 and 3. So do this in your plan. Obviously you might not always have a level 3. You may not always have a level 1, although you should always try to find evidence where you have level 1, whether it's connotations, finding devices and explaining their effect, whatever you think is necessary. And then also, don't forget to embed evidence. Again, you don't have to do this in your plan. I've done it just to show you, but make sure you're embedding your evidence. Find the best evidence. Analyze levels 1, 2 and 3. And remember, there are videos in the writing workshop to show you how to do this. So I've then got my second body paragraph. Crooks, the weakest in society with no power. I didn't bother writing a full topic sentence here for the plan. Obviously, if I did, I'd include the why and the how. I've written about the harness room. He lives with the animals. A little shed that lean off the barn. Box filled with straw, that should be read. Harnesses and trace chains on his wall. So level 1, literally harness chains, trace chains. That's a metaphor. Crooks is literally chained to the farm, treated like a slave. Level 2 is juxtaposed to the bunkhouse where the white characters live. They have neckties hanging from pegs. Crooks' room is a reminder of Crooks' status on the farm. Similar to that of the animals, he's separated from the others. Level 3, linked to outside of the book, Jim Crow laws. Crooks would be separated from the members. Even though slavery ended, he's probably a sharecropper who got paid in food and shelter as opposed to money. My second piece of evidence to back up my claim that Crooks is weak with no power. Curly's wife calls him the N-word and says that she could have him strung up so quick it ain't funny. Remember, if you need to change pronouns or stuff or conjugations in the quotes, you can use the square parentheses. So she said, I could have you strung up. I've just changed you to him so it fits in with my sentence. And then again, level 1, by using the N-word, we're reminded of the African Americans, the injustices they faced through history, from the slave trade to Jim Crow laws. His humanity is also stripped, so that's got connotations with slavery and Jim Crow. Level 2, the audience is reminded of Crook's place on the farm and the aggressive tone. I've used reminds a lot here, that's not good. The aggressive tone reminds readers of the harshness of the ranch. And level 3, in 90 Days America, lynchings were commonplace. In some areas in the South, towns would lynch African Americans with jobs just to create work for unemployed men. So again, levels 1, 2 and 3, where you can, embed your evidence. You don't need to embed for the plan though. I just have, again, to show you what it should look like. And then body 3, Curly's wife is weaker than the men, but asserts strength wherever she can. Now, I actually had this as my second body paragraph, but then realised that the Curly's wife threat would be better introduced with Crooks, so I've changed it so it fits in a logical order now. So I put Crooks first so that we could already introduce the idea that she threatens him, and then I don't have to repeat myself too much here. So again, I've picked the best evidence, so I've said that she's not given a name, she's called Curly's wife, or Tart, or Jailbait. Not choosing to give Curly's wife a name, Steinbeck has removed her identity, so I've looked at the individual words. Level 2, this forces the reader to only see her through the eyes of male characters. She's shown to be a promiscuous character without real identity. And level 3, 90 Days America, women were second-class citizens and lost a lot of the independence they received in the 20s. My second piece of evidence here, that she frames, they say they will tell on her for framing Crooks, but she says nobody listened to them, so she asserts her own strength. Now, there weren't really any weird, interesting word choice that I could talk about here, or wasn't any word choice. There weren't any devices I could talk about, so I struggled to do level 1. But I've gone and done level 2, so she's a bully, she uses her power where she can, and level 3, I've actually linked to another book. Remember, we want to do outside of the text, so I've done To Kill a Mockingbird, A white woman blames an African American for assaulting her, and the jury finds him guilty despite the fact he was innocent. So I've also linked another book and talked about 1930s America. So that's your plan. Make sure to do your plan as effectively as possible, and that way I can check it and help you improve before you come to write your first draft of your essay. So that's everything there. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. Just again, these are the questions you may choose from. Choose wisely, and if you do decide you want to come up with your own, let me know. Thank you.